29.
Ready to go.
Hello, viewers. This is Attorney Naresh Gehi, and welcome to Green Card with Gehi. And firstly, thank you so much for making this a huge success. We've been getting an overwhelming response because of wonderful viewers like you who are sharing this particular link, and people are clicking on it. And I'm answering the questions on all immigration matters. So even if the show is about E1, E2 today, I'll also be mentioning some headlines, and we'll try to take some question and answers from people who have any immigration matters for sure. So let's continue with the E1 and the E2 visa, very important visas. We've been getting a lot of calls from Europe, from the Philippines, from Sri Lanka, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, and of course from Canada, and from the UK, and from Hong Kong, with reference to the e-visa. Now, let's talk about the E1 again, just a slight introduction. And second is the E2, which is getting a lot more response than the E1. What's the difference between both of them? E1 visa, you have to belong to a list of countries. And even if you look at that particular email that you got, that tells you which country you belong to. And if you fall in that category, and if your country belongs to that category, and if you're a national of that country, which means you're a citizen of that country now. I would say if you're a citizen of that country, doesn't matter even if you're born in India, which is not a country. But if you are a citizen of Canada now, if you're a citizen of Australia now, good news is that you can qualify for the e-visa. Basics of the E1 visa. E1 visa means you're trading with the United States. More than 50% of your trade is with the United States. And if you're someone who's already trading, exporting goods, importing goods, then we can start working together and we can make sure that we present your case in a way which I think should be, meeting the requirements of the law if we work together. So that's the E1 visa. Good thing is that you need to show substantial trade. Even if you don't have a lot of money, E1 is better because you don't have to worry about making a huge investment. Good news about the E1 visa, your spouse can come with you. Your spouse, once if they get the employment authorization document, your spouse can work in the United States, and your children under 21 can go to school. And eventually, we can also figure out a way to apply for your permanent residence. So that's the good thing about the E1. Now, people asked me a very good question last time, and they asked me what's the difference between an E1 and E2. E1 means you're trading. A trader is someone who's basically, selling goods to the United States and they're importing goods. They have an ongoing business. And you're going to continue that business when you have your office over here. And you want to make sure that the trade goes between your country. Example, if you're from Turkey, and if you're watching the show, Turkey is a member of the e-visas. So you're exporting garments to the United States. You want to come here. You want to start an office. You want to continue your trade. Your spouse wants you to come here, and your children want to go to school in America. Think about the E1 visa because you're already doing business with the United States. Second category, you're from Korea, and you're watching the show right now. You're from Pakistan. You're watching the show. Look at the E2 visa whether your country qualifies. And most Korean people come here, and they want to buy all these cleaning, businesses, dry cleaners, excellent business, and they want to get into laundromats. They want to start a Korean restaurant, and I love Korean food for sure. Look at the E2 visa, and we can help you with the entire process. We can help you with the formation of the company. We can set you up completely in the United States. Bottom line is that if you're a national of these countries, you're a citizen of these countries, E2 can be good. Now, what is the difference between the E1 and the E2? E2 requires substantial investment. Now, people get scared by the word substantial investment. And online forums, they say it has to be more than $150,000 or $200,000. That is not true. It depends on the nature of your business. Now, for example, you're a yoga teacher, all right? How much business you have to invest for? You need a few mats. You need a nice kind of, a gym room, or you need a nice kind of storefront that you can convert it into a yoga center. So you're looking at $50,000. So don't be scared by thinking that you have to invest $1 million. Not for the e-visa. That's why people love working on the e-visa with me, because we look at the business, we work together, we make sure we come up with a plan. So e-visas is something that we've been doing a lot for people. And we've also been helping a lot of people in the employment-based green card process. And later on, we're going to also link it to the employment-based green card process. Now, people, what do they do when they come in on the e-visa? Now, let's take examples for people. You're from Pakistan or you're from Bangladesh, and you're exporting goods to America. You're into software exports or you're into garment exports, and you have a lot of clients in America. So the good news is that you already established the first part of the test, is that exactly you are working with them. Second is then after that, what we can do, we can sit on the table, or we can talk on Zoom. And if you are a decent gentleman who really wants to settle, and if you're ready to spend some money, then we can make this happen for you. So then what we do is that we chalk out a plan. We chalk out a plan, means we come up with a plan. Then after that, we start working from there. Now, if you're not trading with the United States, then we'll go for the E2 visa. Now you're from the UK, you're from London, you're looking at the show over there, you're from Finland. And if your country is a member, welcome. You're from Albania, good for you. So get in touch with us, then we start looking at it. Someone called me recently and said, Mr. Gehi, I'm not trading with the United States, but I belong to a country that deals with the United States, and I'm from Sri Lanka. Excellent. Look at whether Sri Lanka falls in the E2 visa category. Do I have to come here and do everything? No. We can start working together online on Zoom itself. A lot of my clients abroad are dealing with me on Zoom, but these are good people. These are good business people who are serious about kind of starting their businesses. So then what we do with them, we come up with a plan. Now, this person is not trading. So what we do, we look into the investor category. So every business is different. So the law on the point is that you have to make a substantial investment. So let's talk about what is substantial investment. Substantial does not mean that you have to put in $1 million if the business does not require $1 million. So if you are going to start a computer technology company over here, what do you need? You'll have to do the math of how much you think you will need. Then we can work it out together. We explain it to immigration that, listen, this person wants to come over here. He wants to start a software consulting business. What do you need? You need an office, you need a few computers, and you'll need 1 or 2 people to be hired for. So you're looking at around 75,000, somewhere there, depending. I'm just talking in the abstract. It's just an example. You are a martial arts instructor. You're good in Taekwondo. How much you may need? 50 to 75,000. Because you know the equipment is something immigration is going to ask for. Then secondly, we'll be needing, I would say like a boxing bag. Then you're looking at exactly like, some training mats. Then you're looking at some dumbbells and some weights. So that's what substantial investment means, that it depends upon the nature of the business. So if you're an artist, simple as that. What's the biggest thing you need? Is your hand, correct? And you need some drawing boards. Think about it like this. And then let a lawyer work with you, and then you'll be able to kind of find a solution. And people have become prosperous in the United States by coming in on e-visas. And they've done very well. And, they're very happy that things are doing well for them. And they're very happy to kind of basically make sure that exactly they can settle in America. So again, let me repeat the fact that this is a live show. If you're on Facebook, click the link. Doesn't matter, even if the question relates to another area of the law, we'll help you to answer the question for sure. But you have to give us your real name and your phone number, and you have to be professional and you have to be respectful. These are the rules of how we work with everyone, because for me, respect comes first and respect is mutual. That's very important for all of us. So we are talking about the e-visas. Now, people ask me that I came in on an E1 or an E2 visa. So what is the most important thing? The E1 visa holder or the E2 visa holder has to work in the business itself. So, but the spouse of that person, once if they get the EAD, which is the employment immigration document, if they get the card, then they can be employed in some other business too. So that's the beauty of it. So there are a lot of things that you can do, and every 2 years you have to renew it, and you can extend it indefinitely. Isn't that fantastic? So this is one category that I love very much. and we help a lot of people. And we are literally kind of looking into, helping a lot of people, especially from the UK, from, Taiwan, then Albania, Finland, United Kingdom, Australia. If your country is a part of it, jump upon the opportunity. You're in Sri Lanka watching the show. Easy to get in touch with us, info@gehilaw.com, or call us at 718-263-5999. And we'll make sure we'll come up with a way where we can start communicating. But make sure that you have a business in place if you're looking at an E2 visa. If you're already trading with the United States, make sure that you're already trading with the US. Then we can build our blocks from there. So another good thing is that about the E1 and the E2 visa, if you get it stamped abroad, you can even travel to your country and come back. And eventually, you can also think about a green card. And people who've been on E2 visas, they've started multiple businesses. I know some Korean restaurant owners, they've had multiple restaurants in the US. Of course, because of COVID, things are bad. But on the whole, they've flourished over there. And a lot of people from the UK come in and they come up with these great ideas that they want to start an ad agency over here. They want to start a public relations firm. Brilliant. Do it. When the great get going, the going gets great. So you have to come up with your niche. You'll have to tell me, what are you good at? And once if you can tell me what you're good at, then we work together and we move forward from there. That's about e-visas. And another thing is that under the E1 and the E2 category, your children can also come under the age of 21. So they can go to school in America, and your wife or your husband can work somewhere else and they can make a great salary as far as you continue in that category. Now, what do most people from different countries do? A lot of my Korean friends, they start, as I said, laundromats. A lot of my Pakistani brothers and sisters, they get into gas stations, they get into candy stores. Candy stores are like, those convenience stores and everything. And everyone, people from Taiwan, they want to start computer companies, electronics. So it's the best thing is that there are a lot of things you can do under the e-visa category. And it's still untapped very much because, not many lawyers know about this category and how the paperwork should be presented and what are the requirements for immigration. These are very, very important things that we have to look into. And other than that, let me also go on a different topic, which we are going to talk a little bit about for my H-1B visa holder friends. And for people, for my L-1 visas, premium processing is going to begin soon. June 1st is beginning, but they're going to go backwards first. And, then after that, they're going to look at people who've already applied. For them, premium processing is starting. So we're going to have a full show. I would say on Monday, we're going to talk a few minutes about the E1, E2. Then the show is also going to be about the premium processing. So we are going to kill two birds with one stone. We're going to talk about E1, E2s, and we're also going to talk about the H-1Bs. We're going to talk about the L1 visas, L2 visas, and the I-140 petitions, wherein premium processing is going to begin soon. That's going to help a lot of people. So the next show is going to be, again, fully employment-based and for entrepreneurs. So people have been asking me, Mr. Gehi, please talk a lot about employment-based immigration. So we're going to do that for our viewers. So as I said, if you have any questions, log on. If you're on Facebook, if you're watching the show live, ask us your questions. In 2 minutes, we'll be taking your questions. So get ready for your questions and keep circulating this video. Folks, something that I'd love very much, if you can share the link, and something that makes the show interesting is the question and answers. Because what happens is that the more question and answers we have, the more I can tell you, there are more topics I can cover. Because I want to see what, wonderful people like you want me to talk. And, if good people have good questions, I'd be more than happy to make sure that we continue talking about what we need to do. So, as I said, right now, E1, E2 was done. Now, for the H-1Bs, the premium processing should be starting. For I-140s, the premium processing should be starting. For the L1s and the L2s, premium processing should be starting. So things are happening, and let's see how immigration gets it there. And a few other things, if you got laid off from a company, get in touch with me immediately. We need to figure something out. please do not become out of status in this country. Please do not, because it becomes very difficult for the lawyer as well as you to work with us, and the stress level increases, and the frustration goes up, and you're going to be in trouble. Prevention is better than cure. So if you are hitting that line, the red line, wherein your employer is about to fire you, or basically you think you're going to be laid off, start getting ready well in the beginning. Don't wait for the last minute, because it becomes very difficult for us to work together. I've been helping a lot of people from the employment-based immigration arena, a lot of people on the E1 and the E2 visas, and a lot of people from Canada especially, who started using us for the E1 and the E2 visas, and the UK too. So it's 6:45, it's time for questions, and let's start taking the questions from our viewers, then we'll elaborate on those questions. So we have Lena Jack over here. Hello? Yes. Hello?
Hi.
Lena, I cannot hear you.
Good evening, Mr. Gehi.
Hello?
Hello, I have a question.
Yeah, can you speak a little louder, please?
I have a question for you.
Please, but can you speak loudly if you don't mind? I can't hear you.
Okay, my husband received a letter from
them.
Lena, you can send me an email at info@gehilaw.com. That'd be better, because I cannot hear you properly. So, all right. So the question that Lena, you can send us your question. And now we have Rohan Jack over here. Good evening, Rohan. Hello? 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 All right, so folks, I think what we can do, if you're unable to if there are any sound issues, you can just use the chat panel and send us a question on the chat. I'll be happy to reply. Others, remember, it's, we are also asking Leonard to basically type the question, and even Jack can type the question, so we'll be happy to answer it if possible. So let's basically continue, and Rohan, you can type your question if needed, and Leonard can type the question. So let's continue with this, that, we are talking about what's going on with people who are just about now. Lena has a question. Please type your question. Ronisha Patel. Okay, Ronisha Patel, I have a 10-year green card, expires in December 2020. I'm divorced, so I want to cancel my middle name. It's possible? Yes, it is possible, Ronisha. And if you apply for citizenship, that is definitely possible. And since your question is specific, firstly, let me answer. The answer is yes, you can. And you can email me at info@gehilaw.com. Dan, can you just put our email address on the chat, please? So I'm requesting Dan, so you can email me at info@gehilaw.com. We reply to that, and I will call you tomorrow, and I'll let you know how that is possible. Doesn't matter if you're divorced. The good news for you is that, yes, you can change your name if needed, but there's a procedure involved with that. So thank you for your question, Ronisha Patel. And if there are any more questions, please, as I said, the floor is open for questions. And that's what, we're all about at this time. We take some questions from people. So even I would say, if there's anyone else around here, they can ask the questions. So we'll make sure that we reply, and we make sure that, people know what's going on. So about a few other things about what's going on in immigration, people on B1, B2 visas, they are extending the visas, and we're all waiting for the country to open up. And the time is not far that we should be opening up. And thank you to all the heroes over here who've kind of done a lot of good things, and who are patiently waiting for America to anxiously open up. So that's number one. And secondly, we are very sorry to hear about what's happening in the country these days, and especially looking at the killing of Floyd by the by the police officer. My apologies. And my heartfelt condolences to the Floyd family. God bless him. And, my good wishes are with him, and my prayers and good wishes are with, Floyd's family. So now there's a question here. My husband got an email from National Visa Center, and I'm wondering what should he do? So once if he gets an email from the National Visa Center, that means the good news is that immigration wants to begin the green card process. So they want to make sure that exactly you have to pay the fees, and after you pay the fees, then after that, you'll need a lot more documents that will be needed. And once if the documents are processed, then after that, he will be scheduled for a consular interview. So you can email us, as I said, and then we can, Leonard Jack, you can email us. We can look into your issue and we can help you out. So info@gehilaw.com. And folks, if you have any questions, if you're watching me on Facebook, even now, I am live. I'm right in front of you on your camera, on Zoom, and taking your questions. So I'd love to have more questions and make the show as interactive as possible. So talking about basically family-based immigration, I've seen a lot of progress. National Visa Center is still open, but it's taking a lot of time, even for lawyers. It's a lot of hard work going on for us to get in touch with them and keep the papers moving. And things are becoming difficult in immigration, but we've been managing, and we make sure that we are in touch with them. We make sure that exactly everything goes well for our clients. So that's exactly about what's happening with I would say with the National Visa Center, and you should proceed with that, because if you don't proceed, then your case can be delayed, and it's not good for you to delay the case for a very long time. Now, in connection with H-1B visa holders, the questions were that, Mr. Gehi, my I-140 has been approved. Very good question. Someone said that my I-140 has been approved and I'm getting laid off. What can I do? Try for the hardship EAD, or just make sure that you look for another employer, or try to work out something with the employer to get on a part-time H-1. If your wife or if your husband is on an H-1, try to change your status. Please do not get out of status or leave the country, because being out of status is a recurring nightmare, and it's not good for people to be out of status. That's a question from an H-1B visa holder. Second question was from an L-1 visa holder. And the question was, Mr. Gehi, I live outside the United States and I own a computer company. Can I come into the US on an L-1 visa and start my company? The good news about an L-1 visa is that it's applicable to all the countries in the world. So the good news about the L-1 visa category, it applies to all the countries in the world. The difference between the E and the L, the E visa category is restricted. It applies to only specific countries. But the L visa applies to every country in the world. So take an example about if you're watching the show in India right now, and you're in Bangalore, if you're in Mumbai, if you're in Kerala, if you're in Hyderabad, and you're very much eager to start your consulting company in America, we can help you with the entire L-1 visa process. So that would be the way for you to begin with. Then you can start your operations, and you can actually kind of take things to the next level. That's how it should be. Now let me take some questions over here. My husband got an email from Visas and I'm wondering what should he do. Hi dear, how easy to get on a B1, B2 and get the visa conversion? From Krishan Kumar from Facebook. If you're on a B1, B2, and if you've been here for a while, yes, there is a good possibility. There are no guarantees in the world of immigration, but there's a good possibility that you should be able to change your visa. So from a B1, B2 to another category. So that is a possibility for sure. And of course, there's no guarantee, but immigration law allows you to change your visa from one status to another in the United States. So that's the answer to your question, Krishan Kumar. So that's exactly about Krishan Kumar's question. Now, some other important questions we got from our viewers. Now, let's take some more questions here. I'm so happy that we're getting these questions. Make the show interesting. Ask me questions. I'm here for you today. So if anyone has a green card, then how long must stay in another country? If anyone has an American passport, okay, good. So the question here is that if you have a green card holder, try not to stay outside the United States for more than 6 months. Why? Because after 6 months, the immigration officer, which means the ICE officer, I would call it as the CBP officer, the Customs and Border Protection officer, can ask you many questions when you come in. So after 1 year, of course, you cannot come back. You lose your green card. Now, if you're a citizen, on the other hand, you can live outside the country as far as that country allows you to live. That there's nothing to worry, provided you keep renewing your US citizen passport and keep paying your taxes, and that's going to help you a lot. So now another question from Rohan Jack. I got an email from NBC and I'm wondering if your office will make the appointment for me. Yes, sure. Easy way to get in touch with me, Rohan, is info@gehilaw.com, and we can start taking it from there. info@gehilaw.com. You can also call us tomorrow at 718-263-5999. And make sure you speak to Kimberly and tell her that you want to speak to Kimberly, and I'll be happy to reach you. So now another question. This is so fantastic, folks. Ask questions. Let's get the ball rolling. This is fantastic. I want to work and live in Canada. Hamid Kamal. I've recently completed and in political science from government, North Korea, and so and so. I've served 4 years in the local government. So first thing is, Kamal, we do not do Canadian immigration. But what you can do is that if you have to work in Canada, the very first thing you need to do is they have something which is known as the express entry category system. Look into that, get into Canada. And the good news is if you become a Canadian citizen also, then there will be a way for you to come to the United States too. And you can legally work if you get the E1, E2 or the TN visa. So fantastic, good going. And this is a good question, I would say, from Hamid Kamal. So as I said, try to first immigrate to Canada. And for that, you need to look into the express entry category. And if you do get into that, I think you have a good GPA, and that's great. Good to know that. So folks, if there's any other question, please get on, and we're waiting for your question. This is a pause for people who want to ask us a question.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, your name, please.
Ronisha Patel.
Yes, Ms. Patel, how are you? Jai
How
Shri Krishna, Kem Cho?
Bas majama.
Good, tell me.
Can I speak Gujarati?
Yeah, tell me.
હા મારે ગ્રીન હું જ્યારે યુએસ માં આવી હતી ત્યારે મારે 2 વર્ષના ગ્રીન કાર્ડ ની જગ્યામાં 10 વર્ષનું ગ્રીન કાર્ડ આવેલું છે.
So you got a 10-year green card, okay?
હા, પણ મારા ડિવોર્સ 6 month ની અંદર થઈ ગયા હતા.
Okay, no problem. Where do you live? In which state do you live?
Chicago.
Okay, very good. Can you call me tomorrow? Send me an email. I'll answer you. info@gehilaw.com.
Okay.
Send me an email at Dan, can you type it here? info@gehilaw.com.
I sent already my email.
Very good. So I'll call you tomorrow. Please leave your phone number there. I'm going to call you tomorrow.
Okay, I sent the message on my phone.
No problem. We can handle it in Chicago because we handle immigration cases from all over the US and the world. So you'll definitely get a call from me tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
folks,
much.
As you all are saying that people are asking us questions, doesn't matter where you are. That's the beauty of the web. So, even if you're a businessman, you're a dynamic entrepreneur, you can call us. So we have a lot more good shows coming up for people under the EB1 category, for people who can self-sponsor themselves for the green card under the EB1 and the EB2. Then we're going to talk about the L1 visa category. We're going to talk about the L2 visa category. We're going to again continue on the E1 and the E2s. Then we're going to talk about political asylums and a lot more as everything goes on. Something that makes the show interesting is your question and answers. And you spreading the word, your sharing of this link takes it a long way. And, just tell people to come on. And our next show is on Wednesday. And a big show is on Wednesday. And the topic is going to be complex issues under E1, E2, and the premium processing. Premium processing, which is going to begin for H-1B visa holders, for L1, L2 visa holders, as well as for other categories. Do not miss the show. Every Mondays and every Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom, Green Card with Gehi. And as always, like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, and we handle immigration cases, doesn't matter where you are. So this is Attorney Naresh M. Gehi. We'll be back again on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your questions and answers from Attorney Gehi on this fabulous show, Green Card with Gehi. The instant program constitutes an attorney advertisement under the laws of the state of New York. Prior results do not guarantee future outcome, and the advice given in this show is general in nature and does not apply to any particular facts or circumstances unless and until an attorney-client agreement is entered into between the parties. Thank you so much for watching this show.